Subforms. If you want to show data from several tables and be able to update the data in more than one of the tables, you probably need to use something more complex than a standard form. Take for example our own eGizmos application. Every product belongs to a particular category. Hence there is a need to display all the categories as well as the products to the user so that the user can add new categories as well as products together. In such cases, a subform is of great use. You can have up to 10 levels of subforms. It is best suited if the design is started from the innermost form, processing to the outermost. In our case, we will be designing the categories form first and then proceed to design the products form. Now let us create a form with a subform. For this I will be taking you through a query that has been already defined. The Products and Categories query retrieves all the data pertaining to a product as well as categories. Select the Products and Categories query by clicking on it. Click the Create tab. Click the More Forms button in the Forms group. Access now guides us using the Forms wizard to generate the form. Move all the fields displayed from the Available Fields list box to the Selected Fields list box. Click the Next button. Access 2007 now asks the details on how to display the data, either product-wise or category-wise. Select By Categories by clicking it. Click the Next button to continue. The next screen in the wizard determines the layout for the subform. We choose Datasheet by clicking on it. Click the Next button. Access asks the style that needs to be used for the form. Access 2007 style is the default selection. Click the Next button to continue. Access now displays the name for the form and the subform. We are not changing it at all. Click the Finish button in order to complete the design. The form has been successfully created. Please note that the form design is still not complete. In order to input data into both the forms, the lookup has to be modified. I am not discussing this, as this has been discussed before. So now you can understand how easy it is to build a form using the provided wizards. Using the Option button. There are a lot of scenarios where a list or a combo box do not fit in. We do have one scenario. In the product table, there is a field Product Enabled which accepts either Y for yes or N for no. In such cases, an Option button group is better to accept the user input. We now look at adding this to the product form. The All Products form has been opened in Design View. This already contains a text box for the Product Enabled field. First we delete this and then proceed to replace with a Radio button group. To delete the control, right-click the controlled Product Enabled. Select Delete from the shortcut menu. The control gets deleted from the form. Before we add the control, select the Label control by clicking on it. Place the control in the form just by clicking below the product code field. Enter the following: Product Enabled. Now click on the Select control to apply the changes. We are now ready to add the Option group. Click the Option group button in the Controls group. Select the Product Enabled field from the field list. Click on the space below the product code text box. Immediately, Access 2007 opens the Option Group wizard. Enter the label names as Yes and No. Click Next to continue. The next screen asks for a default choice. Let the default option be selected. Click Next to continue. Access 2007 asks for value and displays 1 and 2 for yes and no, respectively. We just leave it here, for Access 2007 determines the values itself. Click Next to continue. Now we need to bind this control. Select the Store the value in this field option and choose Product Enabled from the drop-down. Click Next to continue. Access 2007 asks the type of group for display, the option buttons or checkboxes or toggle buttons. We are building an option group and hence leave the default selection, for example, option buttons. We don't change the display style either. Now click Next to continue. Access 2007 asks for a caption for the group. Leave the default and click the Finish button. Now, as we have given the label, we need to delete the caption. Just select the contents and delete them. Arrange the radio button as seen. And click the Save button to save the changes. Now that the option group has been created, you can start entering data to the table using the form. Conditional Formatting. Access 2007 includes a feature that allows you to define dynamic modification of the formatting of text boxes and combo boxes. You can define an expression that tests the value in the text box or combo box or any other field available in the form. If the expression is true, Access will modify the bold, italic, underline, back color, forecolor, and enabled properties for you based on the custom settings you associate with the expression. Now let us define an expression for the category product count field, so that it is set to bold and a different font color if entered value is greater than 500. As you will notice on the screen, the All Categories form is already opened in Design View. Now, right-click for the category product count field and choose Conditional Formatting from the shortcut menu. This opens the Conditional Formatting dialog box. Now we have to define the condition for this text box and then set the font color and the font type. In the Condition 1 section, we set the following. Choose the option Field Value Is from the first drop-down. Choose the option Greater Than in the second drop-down. Enter the value 500 in the adjacent text box. Click on the Bold button. Immediately, the preview reflects the update. We just choose one of the 4 colors for the font. Click OK to close the dialog box. Click the Save button to save the change. View the form in the Form view. Access 2007 immediately applies the defined conditional formatting, which you can view on screen. Now, you can see how easy it is to define conditional formatting.